Hello, factory goers. I am Dakota Pariset. I am the artistic director of the Lightbulb Factory. We're back for another installment of, I don't really know what we call this, but this is actually our cold open, I guess, interview for our upcoming project. Actually, I guess our season finale, technically, for 2022. But this is just an opportunity for us to connect, share our ensemble, introduce our ensemble members. You're going to meet Rashaad here real quick, and just give them the opportunity to talk about kind of what is in the wings, what's coming up. Perfect segue. We just recently finished our not short circuit. No. That's what we're talking about now.
That's what I'm doing.
Finished our Sparks series, Volume 2, which was the Unhinged series. And now we are going to discuss with ensemble member Rashaad A. Bond, Short Circuit 2, Saligia. And I hope I'm saying that correct. But first, Rashaad, tell us about yourself.
Oh, hi.
How did you get here? What have you been doing in Chicago since you got here? And how'd you find the factory?
Struggling. That's what I've been doing. Struggling. No, I moved to Chicago in 2019 in August. I had finished my degree in theater at the University of New Mexico, and I wanted to go to a big theater city. To be honest, I wanted to go to New York, but all of the people that wanted to move with me or that I wanted to move with were like, let's do Chicago. New York's a little more too intimidating for us. And I was like, one day, but I'm here now and I love it here. And I don't know if one day it'll actually happen. So, but I moved here in 2019 and that was right before the pandemic. I was doing a couple of gigs, working at Black Ensemble Theatre, doing an internship with the League of Chicago Theaters, and then the pandemic happened, and that was really kind of like a hard stop on me. And I mean, everyone knows who's been in theater knows it was a hard stop for everyone. But right before that, I had done a show at the BYOT Productions with Dakota. It was like his show where they announced him as the artistic director. And I was like, I like that guy. I'm going to get to know that guy. And much to his chagrin, I stuck around and I started doing things with BYOT and I became an ensemble member there with them. And he invited me to do some stuff with the Lightbulb Factory. And then I became an ensemble member. And so like, I've been working with the Lightbulb Factory, BYOT, a lot of smaller theaters here in the city, working as an actor, mainly a director, but sometimes as an actor. And yeah, that's me. Did I cover everything?
You actually had a pretty busy year in terms of directing, right? You did something with, I think it was, I still think it's
Pale Horse.
Pale Horse, yeah, Pale Horse. And then you did a thing with, I believe Possibilities is the other one.
No, I did something with Possibilities during the pandemic. It's called Perceptions Theater Company.
Perceptions.
They're a Black ran theater on the south side of the city. And then Pale Horse is a newish theater company. They're based in Logan Square, potentially. But yeah, I directed a show for them in June and then directed a show for Perceptions in July.
And actually, to add to that impressive resume that you've built this year, one of the other shows that you both we all sort of co-produced it, but you also
ensemble
acted.
Building.
Yes. And then directed was our first Short Circuit in April, I believe it was.
Yes.
What did you direct for that one?
Oh, snaps. I didn't know you were going to ask me that one. I directed a play written by you, Dakota. Oh my God. What was the name of the play though? It was beautiful. It was a lovely play. I'm just not
you acted in that one.
Huh?
That was Salt. You
I was,
directed the
I
Bundy
directed,
Diaries.
huh?
The
No, I was
Bundy Diaries.
in Saw. I directed the Bundy Diaries. Oh, see,
Yeah.
I'm tired.
Well,
I'm tired.
it all blurs together. It all blurs
Yeah.
together.
I was involved
Um,
in two of them, and I remember doing that.
yes. But what kind of spoke to you in that initial short circuit process that made you interested in kind of helming the second iteration here at the end of the year?
Oh, I love a play festival. I love helping create new work, putting new work in some performance capacity. And so like the thing that was fun and exciting about the original short circuit was that it was this like very intimate way to create theater. It was like we talked about, it was like bringing back those roots of like any place in this city in Chicago can be a place where theater is happening. So an apartment is a place. So we decided to do a theater in an apartment, and it was lovely. And it was like just an opportunity for people to act, even though like being in stages and theaters and being like doing theater was something hard to come across because we were still in those early moments of the pandemic, or not early moments of the pandemic, like early, like us coming back to doing theater in the pandemic. So that's what really struck me about it the first time around. And like I said, I did a lot of play festivals. That was kind of like my first introduction to theater because I didn't do theater in high school. I did it I started doing theater in college, and my first time being in a show of any kind, I had one line and I said something super generically Black in a play festival, but I was like, this is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Let me do some more theater. And so that's kind of like the thing that got me into theater, and it's the thing that like I keep coming back to in theater.
Yeah. Awesome. So we did the thing, and then we kind of had a little bit of a break between things. And then when
Mm-hmm.
we came back in, it was June or July, I think you and JK met.
It was
Um,
June. It was June.
but you started talking about the spooktacular.
Oh,
About
baby.
a month or so went by, and spooktacular became Saligia.
Yeah.
Tell us about Saligia and how that concept creates kind of the structure for this festival that you've built.
Yeah. So like you said, I wanted to do a spooktacular. I think we talked about it. We wanted to show in September and we wanted to show in October. And the moment you said October, I was like, it's me. I'm the one. I'm doing something spooky, and it's gonna be a spooktacular. Um, and so I was thinking of like, what are some spooky things? What's creepy? Like, could we do a horror themed play festival? Like, what's a good, interesting like theme for an October play festival? And like, I don't know what it was. I think I was reading, what's the play by Brandon Jacob Jenkins? Everybody by Brandon Jacob Jenkins.
Yeah.
And it's a retelling of like a morality play. And so I was like, morality, the seven deadly sins. And so I started doing some research on the seven deadly sins, and Saligia is an acronym for like the seven deadly sins with their Latin names. And I was like, that's our spooktacular. We're gonna do a play festival based on the seven deadly sins. There it is. I've got it. I'm sticking to it, for better or for worse. And I think it's been a lot of better more than worse.
Yeah. And I also I appreciate it because the interesting thing for me, being on the kind of the backstage side of it, is just seeing the fresh faces, which is new for me because we've been relatively insular up to this point, where it's been a lot of who you know and who you've worked with that you enjoy, and you've kind of expanded it into this 4 directors directing 7 plays, all original plays, which I guess are kind of a culmination of new playwrights, but also some familiar faces.
Yeah.
But the cast is so diverse compared to what we've done in previous short circuits, and so it's just a testament to your work. Yeah, how has that casting process been for you, and kind of the freedom that you've allowed these artists to take the space?
Yeah. So, I mean, for me, one of the big things for me when doing shows of any kind is ensuring that my show is diverse. And in the essence that, like, I argue with someone about this all the time. It's not that like I'm picking unqualified people of color to be in a show over qualified. Like, there are qualified theater artists, writers, directors, performers of all races and colors and identities in the city. And I think, like, my desire is to remain intentional in highlighting the talent that diversity has in our city. And so whenever I hope to be in charge of a project, I want to make sure that, like, I'm giving people who not necessarily like you said, are like just aren't people I know. Like, I want to go the extra mile to find people who could use the opportunity, who are like getting their foot in the door, who like aren't being given the same chances of other people in the city for whatever reason, and like highlight their work. And for the most part, like, the playwrights, I think, are a little more like diverse people that I know, but I want to continue to push that idea that, like, I just want to, and I want the Lightbulb Factory to be this place where, like, people can feel like they have a space where they can create art, and it doesn't matter what they look like or who they think who they are, and they will find a home here. So that was kind of my intention when, like, focusing on a diverse cast, was being like, there are people in this city who are talented and they deserve opportunities just like anyone else. So that was the goal and the intention with casting and putting this show together. A large part of putting this show together.
Yeah, it's building that community and creating that opportunity that we seek to do. Yeah, and you're doing a wonderful job of it with this. So yeah, I guess that kind of leans into the process question. What do we need to know in terms of where and when this thing's going to happen?
So where it's happening at Green Shirt Studios. I don't know the address off the top of my head. If you want to throw that in there with a little,
we'll include that.
We'll include that somewhere, But, like, it's at Green Shirt Studios. It's right off the Irving Park Brown line. It is happening 8 o'clock, October 28th and 29th. Yeah, it's a free event, but, like, we would love a donation. So it says pay what you will, but, like, if what you will happens to be $0, we'd love for you to come see the show anyway. So that's really the details on that.
Awesome. Yeah. And I think that's the Irving Park Brown line, Irving Park and Ravenswood, I think.
Yeah, it's like it's like 408 or 4008 North Ravenswood, but I'm not 100% certain. Don't quote me on that. I'm tired.
You and me both. We will find an address. But yeah, and to speak to that too, it is also a free event. We, like a lot of companies, especially being as young as we are always happy to receive donations. Goes a long way. A little goes a long way.
It sure does. It sure does. But I, as much as a donation would be nice, just come see the show. I'd love to have people come see this show. I think the people working on it have been doing a really great job. They have some very interesting and exciting And like twisted's not the right word. Twisted is not the right word to use in this moment. But like I remember reading all of them like one evening, and I was like, oh, okay. I asked for it, but like, it's a lot. There are a lot of they're very interesting pieces. That's all I can say.
Yeah, and you can find kind of the titles of these, the casts, the directors, and the playwrights, all on our Instagram and our Facebook, which Rashaad and I are rolling out throughout this week and into next week. So be sure to follow up on all of that. All of our information is pretty much on social media at the moment as we build our website. But yeah, we hope to see you on the 28th and the 29th. Rashaad, thanks for giving me the dredges of your Tuesday night to get this thing together. You've done wonderful. And excited to share this story, share your story, and share Saligia. So folks, thanks for joining us. We are the Lightbulb Factory, and this has been our intro cold open interview with ensemble member and lead producer of Short Circuit 2, Rashaad A. Bond. We'll see you next week. Stay lit.